What's going on, my dudes? This is Math Time with Mr. Gardner. Today we're going to be learning about solving quadratic equations by using factoring. It's also known as how to find your equation when they only give you 2 points. As a reminder, that we need 4 things to create our equation. The first things are vertex, and that's just going to be our axis of symmetry, and after we plug it in, our y value. Our y-intercept is just going to be our standard form. It's going to be this c term. And our x-intercepts, if you remember from our last video, is after we factor it, setting equal to 0, solving for these numbers. Those are going to be our zeros. And rate of change, that's just going to be our a term in front of the x squared. So let's say an engineer wants to design a water fountain, and it's going to start 1 foot off the side of the pool, and it's a 10-foot across pool, but it's going to reach the center of the pool. So this is actually going to be 5 feet. So let's create a XY coordinate plane, and let's just say where these 2 points are. This is going to be at 1, and this is going to be at -5. So that means when I'm solving for my x term, that means that it has to be x plus 5 when I set equal to 0, so that when I subtract 5, I get my x is equal to -5. Which means that my parabola equation so far is going to be x plus 5 and x minus 1. And it's x minus 1 because when I set equal to 0 and I add 1 to both sides, I'm going to get x is equal to 1, which is where it is on the x-axis right there. Cool. The only thing next is my fountain is opening upside down. So I need to make my a term negative so that it opens upside down. So there's my equation, and I can set that all equal to 0. So I have figured out my x-intercept right there. Now I can go find my y-intercept. So I'm going to double distribute. And I get -1x plus 5x minus 5. I'm going to combine my like terms. And now I have this negative that I need to distribute to all these terms, which just means changing all the signs from positive to negative and negative to positive. As you remember, the last term is going to be my y-intercept. So my y-intercept is going to be 5, which is way up there at 5. And that makes sense so far, that it would be up there. Next thing we have to find is our axis of symmetry, which is just -b over 2a. This is my b term, so I have -4 over 2a. So there's my axis of symmetry. So to find out my vertex, I know my first term is -2, and I always have to find the y value. And I do that by plugging back in. So I have -2 squared minus 4 times -2 plus 5. So now I have -4 plus 8 plus 5. So that gets me -4 plus 13 or 9. So my vertex is -2, 9. So one of the questions they might ask us is, what is the maximum height of the water? So right there. And that's just going to be, what's our y value of our vertex? And it's 9. And how far into the pool is the highest point? Well, it's right there at -2. So we have our equation. We have our x-intercepts, y-intercepts, vertex. And the only thing from the previous screen was our rate of change. And our rate of change is that first term, which is negative a. So the only thing they might ask is, using the same pool and the same fountain, and it must finish at the same spot, what would the new equation be if the maximum height is 4 feet? So I'm still going to have my negative here because my parabola is opening down. It's still going to finish 5 feet into the pool. It's still going to be 1 foot off from the pool to shoot in. But instead of equaling 0 right here, we know what the maximum height is going to be. It's going to be 4. So we're going to set equal to 4. But now we don't know what our rate of change is to get to this 4. So we're just going to put a there for right now. So I'm going to divide negative a to both sides to isolate the x's. Okay. I'm going to double distribute. And that's going to equal 4 over negative a. Okay? So now we just have to find our vertex. So it's still going to be negative b over 2a. So it's going to be negative 4 over 2 or negative 2. I'm going to plug that back in. And I have negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2 minus 5. And that's still going to equal 4 over negative a. So now I get 4 minus 8 minus 5 is equal to 4 over negative a. So now I can do my two fractions are equal to each other, and I can do my butterfly technique. Multiply, and I get 4 is equal to negative and negative make a positive, 9a. And I divide by 9. So a is equal to 4 over 9. But when I plug it back in, because it was negative here, my final equation is going to look like negative 9 over 4 x plus 5 x minus 1, or yeah, let's just leave it at that for right now. So to review y, they said the maximum height is going to be 4, so we say equal to 4, which means that the rate of change is no longer 1, so we left it as a, and we solved for our vertex so that we could find our rate of change. Alright, as always, if you have any further questions, make sure to leave a comment below and I'll make sure to get back to you. But other than that, remember to be kind to each other, ask lots of questions, and think deeply. Have a good one, you guys.